You're listening to Off the Stage with your hosts, James Berry and Conor Michael, where we take musicians off the stage and into the pub to talk about the ins and outs of the music world.
Hello there, and welcome back to Off the Stage podcast with me, James Berry, and Conor Michael. We're back in the ISIS pub. We've got a few beers, we've got two lovely guests, and we've got some nice questions to ask them. So let's just kick on with the show.
Slowly getting better at that.
Slowly getting better. You see, I do this thing all the time. If you had your headphones on, you'd hear like music, and I'm trying to talk and monologue it. But I'm really like awful at talking and monologuing. So I'm always trying to kind of like keep things going. But I thought I did okay there.
I think it was alright.
It was fine.
Yeah. So we've got two wonderful guests today, haven't we?
We do. We have 2 out of. Did you say it was 5? 4 or 5?
4 of us at the moment. Probably 5. Moving forward.
2 out of 4.5 members of What About Eddie?
Hello. It's the first time we're being applauded, I think.
I'm overcome.
So normally we have a first question, but I'm going to move that second. The first question I'm going to ask you guys, who is Eddie?
Eddie is... Eddie, should we tell the actual story or like...
Eddie from Cartoon Network. With the doors.
Well, you can improvise if you want, I don't mind.
Eddie's a mythical beast.
Yeah, you see how bad that's slightly going.
It's a Jack Russell from
Frasier.
Right.
Oh,
because we're both big fans of Frasier.
He was the richest dog in like the world, or something.
I imagine so. He had his own house. I think he had a bit more than Lassie. Like. Which is the original band name, More Than Lassie, but. No, Tom.
What about Eddie?
Original band name was actually Prolonged Disappointment, which was the best.
We actually played a gig under that.
Well. Our first gig was under Prolonged Disappointment. The bass player, now guitarist Adam.
There is actually footage of that as well, and it was very disappointing.
I was going to say, was it prolonged as well?
But Tom took ill for a little while. And I lent him the box set of Frasier, and we needed a new name. And somehow we came out to What About Eddie. Like.
Well, our bass player Adam is nothing if not thorough, and he contributed a list of about 40 million names.
The only one that I remember.
So we were reading them out to each other in the car, and then we just made one up. Because we got on the team, thinking, I'm not. What about Frasier? What about Eddie? And that's how it came. Yeah. Just a little conversation in the car was just completely
the best ones to hear, though, isn't it?
The band was supposed to be called Eddie, but you thought, what about Eddie?
Exactly.
Let's keep that.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because there's no question mark featured as well.
All right.
We're poorly punctuated.
I didn't put the question mark in this either.
Just
says What About Eddie?
Though I still think we should have been called Prolonged Disappointment.
Still time.
Exactly. But
so, who is What About Eddie in the terms of who's the band? Who have we got so far? Who we're getting?
So
who are you?
I'm Richie. I play guitar, sing. This is Tom.
That's sax and attempted singing. Never done that before in any band
It's
I've ever
difficult.
been.
I don't play sax, but it's difficult to sing and play sax at the same time, isn't it?
Well, you get that lovely comes at the bottom of the bell.
And originally we were Adam, who played bass. He now plays guitar.
Nice.
And then there's a guy called Kev, who was drumming. He is now in a band called
Blame Yourself.
Who are really good. We're checking out. You know. Nick Wood,
Tide of Fighting.
I know Nick Wood.
He's working with Nick. Nick's a great fellow. He's great voice.
Unreal.
He used to scream. I've never heard anything like. I've heard a bit more. It's more like very like folk punky kind. Really like. But yeah, cracking voice.
Unreal.
I haven't seen Nick in ages.
But Blame Yourself are kind of like that Midwestern like emo. Really good, worth checking out. And then we've now got a guy called Robin playing drums.
Yeah, cool.
And he was in a band called Bellomo.
They were fantastic.
They were a really good local band.
Adam used to actually be in them as well.
So kind of just like apparently just all share members, like so. It's all
that's the best way to do it.
New band name, the Switch Arounds.
Exactly.
The thing is, if you ever if one member ever gets sick and you're like, oh, can you fill in for us? Let's say
exactly.
That's the way you should.
And we had a little bass guy playing bass for a couple of weeks, but he's a paramedic, which does not line up with being in a band.
No,
it's when you left in practice with an emergency call.
Exactly. So we have a couple of people lined up. We're just going to see how it goes.
That's cool.
Rebuilding.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it should be good.
It's always the fun thing. Like I like restart, like even video games.
Yeah.
Like I've just restarted my Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I have completed it. And I'm straight back in with. I'm going to use a team I've never used. I like a good rebuild, and there's only so far you get before I want to do it again.
Well,
I've just caught a Shelder, evolved it to a Cloyster, and now I've revived an Aerodactyl. Don't know if you guys know Pokemon much, but
there's more than I remember. There was originally like 150.
Yes, there's now.
And now there's like 1 million or something.
Yes,
I've heard the song. That's as far as I get with the song. Pikachu.
Yeah,
that one.
I did have Pokemon Yellow though for the Game Boy, which is
basically
really good game.
Let's Go Pikachu is the same as Pokemon Yellow,
Right.
but it's on the Nintendo Switch.
That's
Different
pretty cool.
graphics. I had Pokemon Red when I was back in the day.
Yeah.
I think Silver was my favourite.
I had blue, but my friend had red, and it was like
You had to trade with each other.
Yeah,
Didn't
you got the cable.
Yes.
And you like battle each other. It was like
That was the annoying thing, because if you didn't have friends like myself, friends that didn't play Pokemon, you couldn't evolve your Machamp because you had to trade them to get Machoke.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I didn't even know that to be honest.
I had no idea that existed. Look.
I know a little bit of Pokemon.
Never mind.
Well,
you've got to ask what we're drinking.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
What are you guys drinking?
I'm drinking, I don't know the name of it, but it's an oatmeal stout.
Oatmeal?
Yeah.
I didn't see that downstairs.
I didn't see that.
Do you know what I saw downstairs that Ned took my fancy was a blueberry, I think it was a blueberry stout.
I nearly went with that. I decided to go with this because it's a bit lower percentage.
I love the stouts on here. I've had I normally have stouts every week.
It's mad. I love them.
What was it? Last time I had, there was a milk stout.
Yes.
There was a chocolate orange stout.
Yeah.
Peanut butter stout.
Right, yeah, I've had that one.
There's been so many, like the change.
That's great.
It's fantastic.
I try to change, but I get fruity all the time. I can't help myself.
Can't go wrong though.
I love that beer.
Your favourite though. So.
Yeah, it's an absolute favourite beer.
What yourself got there?
Mine's got road in the title.
It's a Rocky Road.
Rocky Road. There you go.
I love that one.
It's a bit sweet and it's like a mild beer. I mean, I was telling Richie about another band they played in. Went to this proper old Gadgets pub in Hull where we were playing. And he said, "Oh, it's mild." And I said, "I'll have something light." Thinking, well, 3 pints of that later, and it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to check the percentage. Sometimes you're like,
yes.
It says 3.6 downstairs on one of them. I was like, I thought that's a 36. Jokingly, this place it could have been 36.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've had people who are drinking like 8.9s. I know one of them.
That is it the blueberry stout?
Yeah, seen that down there. Yeah.
That's like 6 point something. So I saw the other one, which is like 3.6.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just go with that one instead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing an episode soon, but might as well tell people now. So
hoping episode 20 out there.
Yeah, where we'll just basically
and
we'll get incredibly drunk and we'll try and do a podcast.
That would be amazing.
So we're basically gonna try every single one of these
all the beers.
One of the beers.
I think in that episode we should try and write a song and perform it at the end. As the show goes on.
You know what?
That'd be pretty good.
We'll end up doing it where it'll be like when it's been recorded, like, this sounds amazing.
And we'll play it and go, what the fuck was
back.
that?
It's like
Oh god, yeah, yeah. It's
so up for that.
when I write words when I've had a drink and no. And you read them back and you think that is so awful.
Yes.
I'm glad there's no one else here.
Oh, they're amazing when you write them.
Yeah, like this is it's Dylan stuff. This
I'm
is
so
like
profound. God, it's amazing. I'm touching so many things.
meaning behind this is like.
Yeah.
You read it the next day and go,
Yeah.
fuck was that?
Yeah.
It's a shopping list.
Really, yeah. In fact, I would probably prefer to sing my shopping list. Peach.
Speaking of peach, this is a peach and apricot sour. If anybody wants to try it,
Oh,
it's got a very
no, thank
I'm good, man.
lasting aftertaste.
I already had the taster downstairs. It is very sour.
I'm very much in the old man drinking game at the minute, to be honest. Like,
I
just
like a stout.
stout and ports. I can't drink anything else. Like.
Sours tend to make my shoulders come up. But
This is the first
Yeah.
sour I've drank. It's like,
Really?
yeah, like I've had like ale sours when I was
Yeah,
like 14. But yeah, I'm normally Guinness whenever I go to a gig, or
Yeah.
if I'm having a long night, maybe a Coors because it's a soft lager in it.
I don't mind that actually. I think
Too
that's
fizzy
quite nice.
sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I like a good stout.
I think once you get, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but once you get over 30, anything too fizzy just
Oh
feels
yeah,
like
no.
to me
I
like
mean,
it just.
I'm 33. He's like 902. But like,
60 in
Your
November.
age, isn't it?
Really hard.
I'm 60 in
and he's
November.
got older than every one of us in the band.
60.
Well, you
How
know,
did that happen?
60's the new 50.
The new not 30.
It's 30 plus.
Well, I tell
that's
you
the
what,
thing.
Stout kept my granny going because she lasted until a week before her 104th birthday.
Really?
So I'm going on that kind of.
So you've heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. Stout for a long life.
I'm going to live through it for another at least 3 years. So
That's
longer than me.
That and complete
Come back
bile
Friday.
and contempt for everybody in her immediate orbit.
I mean, I stopped drinking for about a year, and I came back and I used to drink like IPAs and miles and stuff, and like I drink out to be honest. And then since I started drinking again, I just seem to only be able to drink like Guinness,
The good
stout. Like it's just like anything with actual taste. Like I don't like Mexican beers though, like like taste like water.
Yeah.
But they're lethal. So it's like you like have a 4 and then it's like 8 later, 16. You're like
You stand up and you go,
yeah.
nah.
Straight out the window.
Well, we do like to pair that nicely, don't we, with a burrito or two, or 3
19.
tacos as
A
well.
good burrito.
Can't go wrong. Should we? I mean, the guy who owns this pub.
Just Mexican
Yes.
style,
Mexican.
isn't it?
Yes,
It's
Mexican.
beautiful.
Can't
Yes.
complain.
Sort of fusion tacos. They're
Yeah.
Very
they're
good.
tremendous.
I've never
Soft,
been,
soft shell crab taco there is just
Unreal. So thank you for bringing culture to Sunday.
yes.
And there's a discount on Tuesdays. Taco Tuesday at Mexico
Really?
70.
Oh,
Oh yes.
Well,
On Tuesdays.
well,
Sounds like
I
an
know
American thing,
yeah.
doesn't it?
Taco Tuesdays.
So a couple of weeks ago we had Robert on from the Spitfire Bullets.
Oh, right,
You
yeah.
guys, do you know him personally or do you?
Yeah, we gigged with them a few
Ah,
times.
we
Yeah.
have, yes, we have.
Great.
Obviously you guys sent in a request, messages to him. I can't remember what the word top of my head. And he responds. He just wants to say hi guys, thanks for the love on the last podcast. The one he was doing. Keep on rocking.
Bloody jubbly.
And then he followed up and he wants to know how long have you been playing shows for. So I know you've changed your band's names here and there. So as a whole, how long have you guys been gigging
Since
for?
2016.
Do you mean like as a band or just in general? Like,
We'll do all.
yeah.
Just that's
And how long have we been a band?
41 years.
So that's experience that nobody on this table can beat.
Yeah.
I played my first gig when I was 19 at the Arts Centre in Newcastle.
Oh, very good.
God, blimey.
Is it just sax you play, or do you play this?
I play a little bit of guitar, enough to kind of write, and I can strum a chord on a keyboard. I used to do that in the last band we were in together. But it's mainly the saxophone.
It's, I mean,
Because the lead is
That's
the sleaziest of instruments.
It's the saxophone and everything.
I mean, so we've been a band since 2006.
2012 though, because we were in
Yeah, we're in a
Gin
band
Shop
called the
together,
Gin Shop Revolt.
which is pretty much more of the same.
It's still the scar stuff. I've probably been gigging for, I don't know, like I'm 33 now, since I was about 15, so
Yeah,
Good
I
age
think
as
it's
well.
about-
yeah,
Your gigging career is old enough to drink.
definitely.
Yes.
And I was in the band, first proper band, was a band called We Done It for the Don. We're like a reggae punk band.
Oh, I think
Uh,
I've heard of them actually.
we
I
were
think I did hear about them.
we were like
Infamy follows.
yeah, we were like
How it used to.
very much either like the best band you'll ever see or the worst band you'll ever see. There was no in between.
Marmite, the Marmite band.
Not even Marmite. It was literally like we turned up.
It
and
was
we
it was
were like-
dependent on the level of consumption, really,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And
Tell them about the Rider and Sponge.
yeah, so we played with the band. You must have heard of Sponge.
Yeah, Sponge.
Yeah,
aye.
Sponge.
It's just porn, man. Is that that?
Yes.
Yes.
Room for
It's
Abuse.
just porn.
Yes, was it? I
Yes.
don't know.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure they played
They're
that
like
one.
big
That and Kicking Pigeons.
kicking pigeons in the park and Roots or something.
She can be say that, is
I think so.
it? That's our song, is it?
But they were a great
They're the bad boys.
ska punk,
I like them. Yeah.
ska punk band back in the day, like early 2000s. We played with them, like the Don, in Sunderland for some guy's birthday party.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
I don't know who it was. Some tattoo fella just knew Sponge and invited them to play. Somehow we wound up getting invited to play.
Brilliant.
And it was like there's like a buffet at the back. It's like, you know, your typical like social club, like tribute act kind of night. And there's like loads of old women, and we rocked up. It was like an open bar, so we took a full advantage of this. And
Rightfully so.
By the time Sponge came back, there was no more booze. And then we played, and I was like playing trombone at the time, and singing and like dancing.
Which you bought for £20.
Yeah, that was great.
Decent.
And that was a terrible gig. But then we played with Sponge again, like a couple of months later.
They were like, oh no.
Then they were like, not these guys again. And then some woman came up to us and was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. And then like last time I saw you, it was like, I wanted to kill you. Like,
It's all about lowering their expectations, isn't it?
Exactly.
They're really
Like-
shit. They're not as bad as last time.
But there was a nice little thing, because we then played with Sponge, didn't we, as well, with Eddie.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean,
And
it was
they were
kind
great.
of
They were great.
back in the day. There was really good local kind of punk bands.
Oh, it was
Ska.
fabulous. Fabulous.
There was a band called the Gin Shop Revolt. We done it for the Dawn. There's a band from Shield called Too Spicy.
Right.
And then there was an amazing band from Overheating Way called All the Vader, who were like the best band going.
They were really, really polished. I mean, the singer had such a soulful voice.
Yeah, it was great. They had like a proper little scene going, and they just kind of died on its arse. Like.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Like, it's always a shame as well.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
lot of the time, it's. I mean, I don't know how much truth of this there is, but like, it's usually the certain venues that put on these bands, and then just stop putting them on. And then once you don't get the venues, you can't get the gigs going.
No, definitely. I mean, it was the downstairs in the Head of Steam in Newcastle.
Oh, right.
Was like the kind of.
I don't know if they still.
Was
put
that
on
called
bands,
the
but
Bunker, wasn't it?
No, there was
Or
a
was that
night
another
used to
one?
be like
Oh, no,
called
that
the
was when
Bunker.
we were-
Like,
That was the first gig with my band Yellowstone, and I ended up getting clamped.
right.
I parked on the other side next to the where the hotel. I didn't even know
right.
I barely even opened my door to see if it was all right to park there, and a guy came out and just fucking clamped.
Really?
I was miffed, like. Just
I guess it's not okay to park here.
I was like,
Can you unclamp me so I can move?
I was sold like 3 tickets or something, so
That's good.
I made a minus
Minus
£300
£300.
that night.
It was like when the Head of Steam was still like rubbish,
Yeah,
and it smelt like all the time.
Like,
I was-
the smell of the toilet, really, the
Yeah, it
broken
was great.
toilet.
And then
they
they
were
did
the
it
best
up.
kind of venues though, aren't they? Let's face it.
And then like Trillions
Yeah.
on a Monday and Tuesday nights used to do a thing called the pound party
Oh,
night.
the pound parties.
And they used to get all the like kind of touring
mad.
ska punk bands and stuff, and punk bands. And then it kind of just broke out of that, really, didn't it? Like, but then Tom goes back even further.
Yeah, I think I hadn't played for years, and then a mate of mine mentioned the local band 46 Itchy. I don't know whether you've ever come across those. And it's going back a good way. It's the turn of the century.
Yeah, I probably definitely don't know them then. Anyway, it's like,
And I used to go and watch them a couple of times, and I ended up talking to the drummer a bit, and with a view to joining, and then they split up. So the case. But a couple of months after that, Andy, he's in Loudmouth now. Andy, he's Loudmouth's drummer.
You know, Loudmouth, local punk band.
I've
Probably
never
the
heard
sequel.
of like
Yeah.
I've heard of them. I've seen.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think I've ever listened to them. We'll have to. People always mention bands on this podcast.
Yeah,
I make a concerted effort.
Mhm.
Whenever someone mentions, I put it on my little. Well, either notes or I search them on Spotify. It's always on Spotify. That's all I've got, to be honest. But if they're not on Spotify, then chances are.
Not good enough for that.
No, it's
Is that one of those puzzles where you just move the tiles around? We're like, you know, oh, I'm in that band now.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
definitely.
could go into that tile and be in that band.
The thing is,
Yeah.
if you're a sax player, you can just kind of like everyone's after a sax
oh,
player.
you can like just move between bands. Like,
I played on Loudmouth's album. I played a track on that, which was really nice, because I tell you what, the fun of recording that the day was just fabulous. There was a couple of I can only describe as characters who come along to watch the recording, and it just got boozy, and it was great.
It's fun. I mean, that's it gives like doing stuff like that just kind of gives like the recording character, doesn't it? Like,
Without a
definitely.
shadow.
And
couple of
it's a
things
great
on-
album.
couple of
very
things
good
on
album.
Twitter as well when we were recording the claps and that. Well, someone's clapping out of tune, time, and there's just one thing you've got to do: come and clap. Give this man his moment. He's got a credit on the album, but they had to sort of, right, that's great. We'll just do the claps again, but you sit down because you're a guy. Oh God, it was brilliant.
It's a great album though. It's called Easy Tiger.
Easy Tiger by Loudmouth.
Loudmouth.
I'm saying that out loud, so then I know I've got a cue to kind of like search because I'll end up forgetting.
Definitely. I mean, because I play I don't play trombone. I kind of have a trombone.
Same thing.
I should have played on the album, but I was like, I'm not. After the gin shop, because I played trombone in a band.
Do you play it live, or do you do what Lewis Capaldi does with the piano?
Oh,
I've seen that clip of Lewis Capaldi, and he's on the piano, and he's like, "Oh, this live music thing's just a farce, isn't it? I'm not even playing piano; it's just a backing track. I can't even play piano."
I just make fart noises. It's the best thing.
And lead congas, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. But it's great. Easy Tiger, Loudmouth.
Have you ever played the Globe in Newcastle?
That's one place I want to play. It looks cool as hell.
I think we haven't.
He started off some sort of crazed conga, jumping off stage when we were in Gin Shop. Took him out of one door and back in the other.
That's cool as hell.
It was absolutely mental.
Kind of, because we were saying like all the bands kind of linked into each other. When my old band broke up, I'd bought a trombone for like 20 quid.
Yeah.
No idea how to play it. I wanted to buy a saxophone, but they were a bit expensive. And I was a student at the time, so I was like, I found a trombone on eBay, I think, and like just got that for 20 quid, 25 quid. Remember just being really, really hammered at this New Year gig at the Head of Steam, and like my band were playing, these guys were playing. I wasn't in their band at the time, and I think I just mentioned that I'd bought a trombone, and then my band broke up, and I just like got a message like.
Yeah, and we'd always wanted a trombone to fit into a gin shop as well.
Just bring your trombone along. Tom will teach you how to play it. And I was like, all right, and I'm not in a band at the moment. And I'm kind of like, I was just learning it as I went. And played the Globe. And because I couldn't play it, I used to just chuck it about and like spin it about, start conga lines and stuff. And Dolly Parton was playing the arena. And there was a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Like to get into the arena because like where the Globe is in Newcastle, and we were playing, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not really playing at the minute. I'm just gonna start a conga line. Started a conga line like out of the building through all this traffic and back in. Like it was great. Like.
Did you get any of the crowd from outside in going, what the fuck's going on? Yeah,
I tried to, but no one seemed to want to get out of the car.
Oh, they wanted to listen to Julie.
It's not even a real name.
You're just making that up, Dolly, for God's sake.
It's after 5 o'clock.
I thought, where's he going? People started following him. That was the best bit. We were all playing away, just
remand down.
I couldn't play the thing, so might as well. I just kind of, there was like all about entertainment.
Improvisation, exactly. That's it.
It's good though. But we that band broke up, and then we just kind of started this band. Like
just straight afterwards. We had a few false starts, didn't we? Because we tried people out, and some of them moved to Brighton and stuff like that. But then
where the other one went to Liverpool. So
and one to Liverpool and one to Brighton.
They just were in a band with us for a month and decided to move to the other end of the country.
I'm going to go and live in Toxteth. Great. It's lovely.
It's all good.
Well, that's cool.
It's a good first part.
I think it is, yeah.
Cool. This part where we kind of end part 1.
Right.
Go get some more drinks. Come back part 2 and we'll start doing more
Dabby.
drinks.
Excellent.
Right.
See you on the other side.
We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to side 2, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like that side 2. It's like
side 2, yeah.
Song
That's
the B-side.
Yeah. I'll do that more often.
Yeah. So part 2, as we were saying, this is where we just chat shit. So we started doing a thing recently where it was scenarios, and obviously the first one I'm going to drop out, but the other one, I was saying to James, I was on the way here listening to another podcast, and they had a scenario which I'm going to chuck in for us. You're in a zoo.
Right.
And you have one section, like you've got the animal. You've got to pick one animal to be on your side, and the rest are all attacking you in that group of animals, as it were. So it's not like one elephant; it's however many elephants are in that zoo, etc. You know.
Right.
But you have to pick one group of animals to save you from the rest of the animals in the zoo.
Yeah.
Who are you selecting?
Interesting.
No, I first thought gorilla because they're up there, but I don't know if like a pack of gorillas are going to take out the lions and tigers together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Would they really want to protect? Like, I guess in
this scenario, they have to protect you.
Yeah,
they're not going to attack you. They're only on your side.
Well, I mean, how many gorillas are usually in a? Because there's usually like only one or two of them, isn't there?
That says 3 most, maybe.
3 most. I mean, I think the gorillas are still.
They're a good bet, but the more I thought about it, the more I went hippos. Hippos are right bastards.
Oh,
they're a bit bulldozery, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hippo.
The hippos are probably good. Yeah, I mean, hippo's a good choice.
Elephant, maybe, like.
Elephant's a good one.
If you've got like a herd of elephants.
I think yes. I think I'd go along.
Yeah, but the hippos are definitely.
I think the thing that wins me on, like, not wins, but what persuades me the hippo of elephant would be the water element.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to fight the elephant on land, or you're going to fight the hippo in the water.
Yes.
There's only so many that are going to be.
Yeah.
I've got hippo. I think I've got the answer actually.
Go on then.
Right, chimpanzee. I mean, have you ever seen Planet of the Apes?
I haven't.
They are made to protect, like, apes together strong, right? And you can see people like they're with people flipping faces off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're smart.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm be like the king chimp.
King chimp.
The king chimp. It's a good name for a band, actually. Isn't it?
I was going to say, next time you make an album title, that's it. James Berry, King Chimp.
King Chimp. Well, I'm going to keep that one.
Tip over crown.
That's the next EP title.
King Chimp.
Yeah, I'm thinking chimps because there's a lot of them as well. Because they're the pack animal, aren't they?
Yeah.
What do you think they're taking out 3 gorillas?
I mean, if you've got like
2 elephants would do them. Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a herd of elephants, like.
That's true. That is true.
Well, that's stamping. And obviously they've got the very own water gun as well, haven't they? If they were feeling a bit charitable towards the chimps. I'm just going to wet this lot.
And commandeer the elephant. So now the chimps now have elephants.
So in your scenario, you're owning territories in the zoo. We started on the chimps, now we took over the elephants.
They can tame the elephants.
So if you're in control of the chimps and the elephants, who's the next herd of animals you're able to get on your side? Not that you want on your side, but
I mean,
who else do you have use for in your team of zoo army?
Well, you'd have to have like an amphibious like navy, so the
like
crocodiles. Well, not penguins.
Penguins.
Dance off
I just got visions of you telling the penguin to go and hit somebody and this rubbish weapon comes up.
The problem would be.
Platypus.
That's a good point. The problem would be though, because you'd give all the chimps all this power, it'd end up being Planet of the Apes. So like then.
So the scenario you start as Planet of the Apes.
Just a couple
Just
of
like a
turns.
We never learn.
I've not seen the films, but I'm assuming it starts with a zoo fight, and you're there going, "Rise, my chimps," and they're like, "No."
It's about it. Go ahead. Well, are you gonna watch it?
Well, yeah, but I'm not opposed to a spoiler.
Spoiler
alert to anybody listening.
Well, the spoiler is like he's a spaceman and he crashes on this planet, and the planet is of these like intelligent apes, and then he eventually escapes, and what he finds out is that he's just went forward in time, and the planet is actually Earth, because he sees like the Statue of Liberty on the beach.
I see the Simpsons clip of it.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, the only relevance I have to this is The Simpsons.
Yeah. Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I hate every from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Yeah, so that's basically the plot. And he goes like, "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape!" Like that. It's quite a fun film. But yeah, that's so
you're going chimpanzees.
Chimpanzees, yeah.
I think I'm sticking with hippo.
I'm going with elephant, like.
Elephant.
2 elephants.
The headies are ganging up on your animals, boys.
The other thing I would say is, if it's in America, have you ever seen a chimp fire a gun? Well,
no.
You will do in my scenario. That's all I'm
It's America, they all fire guns, don't they? No offence, Scott.
Yes.
Well, leading on to that, because I just thought top of my head, if you could pick a fight with an animal in the zoo, 1-on-1, what's the biggest one you think you could take?
Oh, a giraffe every time.
I think you could take a giraffe.
I'd just be hiding underneath.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
I'm down here, mate.
Just has
If you
to sit
want
down.
That's a good question. That's a good answer, actually. Giraffe would. I think giraffes are like weak as shit. And all
Take
that.
a rhino at me.
Yeah. He's trying to bite you. You're not going to reach me, mate.
Oh, but it just lies on you. I don't know if you could take the weight of a giraffe.
I'm quite rapid.
That's fine. Can I go on with a butterfly or something like? Just pounce on it like.
Look, you've not got butterflies in the zoo.
I don't know. Like.
Really?
Northumberland Zoo got a few butterflies. Like.
It's a cheap
Fancy
zoo.
me chance against a deer.
A deer, yeah, you could. I mean, them antlers though.
Yeah, I know, but it's physical and physical there. There's no biting her out. It's just literally headbutt against fist fight.
Saying that though, I did once have to fight a crocodile.
That's
Fight
suppose
a
you would.
crocodile.
Oh, I had to have me. They had to actually like tape my mouth shut because I'm mad.
Crocodile.
Crocodile pissing himself running away.
Well, I didn't say it was Richie. Not going in now.
Oh, I don't know. So
I reckon I could chin a penguin, to be honest. Like
I was thinking.
Because you just get that whole.
How high do you reckon you could boot a penguin in the air?
about 2 foot. Like a decent. I could drop a penguin from it like a decent height, like like a pool table or snooker table.
Do you
at
ever
that
get
type of height, like.
really random thoughts of like pure evil? You know, when you're not meant to.
Every
Every
last minute.
And you know, it's like when you're in your mind, you're like, I'll never do it, but I could kick that child. You know.
But it's kind of like when you're driving.
Yeah,
you're like driving along the road.
For no fucking reason.
And you see like a herd of people.
I'm going for
you just
useless.
like
too much Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
The Buddhist.
It's like to the left, and it's like he just came out of nowhere. Yeah. What's this madman doing? And then it's like, but I stay on track.
Yeah,
no one knows who I
Because
am.
you've got sanity, don't you? But everyone has that little evil bit in their mind.
Exactly.
I was doing the school run today, and the kids would like, Dad, and running across the field, and I'm just like, shut up. And I was in my mind, I was like, I wonder how high I could kick one of these.
I thought the answer was going to go. I was going to say how many like 5-year-olds.
No, I went past that. I went to how high could I kick them.
Oh,
yeah.
Pretty high. I mean, how many years? Or maybe. Well, I was going to say.
Episode 20. We'll bring one in. and We'll just see.
I was going to say
the 5-year-old the highest.
A question I'd like to delve into is how many 5-year-olds do you think you could fight in one? So
Alright, we need scenarios for this though.
I know. Well, I'll think of that.
We'll do that another day. I think Peter Griffin's got it where you're in a toilet cubicle and you're just kicking them and line.
So I'd probably have to grab one of them by the hands and do like a hammer nose.
I don't know. They're very devious. I think speaking with a lot of nieces and nephews over the years, I think they take you out quicker than you think.
Yeah, it's the energy, isn't it?
They get you eventually. It's just how many would you be able to take at one? You know, if there's a horde of them.
And
I'm surviving 2 at a time at the minute.
There wouldn't have to be a physical
You've got
contact.
1 hand for each.
Yeah, so I've got 2 at a time. Yeah.
So the third one gets
If
involved.
I can keep me balanced, I'll do a third. You know,
That's me done as soon as the noise starts. No.
I mean, I'd like to say realistically about 27, 28 5-year-olds I could probably take.
You reckon?
Depends where the 5-year-olds are from, like, because if it's from Hendon,
Yeah.
3,
you've got like 2.
Yeah.
Like,
aye.
But if it's like Jesmond, 50.
Yeah, there's like Clementine and Archibald
exactly,
coming at us then like
Sebastian's like, I think you are right, like
delicatessens and stuff like that.
He's got like a knife, but he's like
I disagree with that. I find middle class kids are abhorrent, and they're more vicious than working class kids because they've got that sense of entitlement of the natural order of things.
No, that's a good point.
So they'll beat you with that stick before you've even kicked on.
But they're going to destroy you mentally then.
That's right. Yeah, you will be worn down to a frazzle within seconds. I could buy you and sell you 35 times over, Miller.
There's no point kicking them.
I don't even need to fight. Just talk at you.
Butler to do it as well.
Yeah. How many 5-year-olds in the butlers can we do?
Would you like me to hurt him now, sir?
As you will, sir. Beat that person up. As you will, sir.
Is he still breathing there?
Yeah, I reckon I could take a deer.
Stick to fighting the animals.
I think.
Would you rather fight a zoo animal or a child?
To
the death.
It's the zoo animal every time. Children are devious. Before you know it, you're done.
Yeah. I'd probably pick like a. Trying to think of a big, like a thingy, similar size thing as that, because I could not get anything any bigger than a deer. Maybe like a tiger. No, I'm not gonna say a tiger because that's like a wildcat. I think I could take a wildcat.
It's going to be over my head there.
Like like the small ones. Like, but they're a little bit bigger than your domestic cats. But like,
yes,
the wadgie is longer, so you get a bit scratched. But
let's go back. Did you actually fight a crocodile? I think we just
completely
paved over that.
We did just I mean, maybe we should.
I fought a crocodile. Yeah, but how many kids could you kick?
It was
It's a story there, isn't there?
I'm not allowed to discuss it. No, it was a show I was going to do on the BBC, but the animal rights and that.
Just Richie fights. ...
Yeah.
or ellipsis to you grammatically detailed people.
No, I didn't actually fight a crocodile.
Okay.
It was just a penguin.
Did you win?
No.
So butterflies it is.
Just a butterfly. And I need a net. Like.
Mocking him in his dicky balls.
Oh, the world. Like.
You call yourself a fighter, human. Sorry, call yourself a
slapped in the next week by a penguin. Like, it wasn't fun.
Or maybe a hawk. I'm going to take a hawk.
Oh, I don't know about a hawk, man. Like,
you don't think, like...
I always think skunks would have a good chance. The aroma thing in that is just... I'm going to knock this little...
Once you get past the smell.
Yeah.
I'd
could you ever get past the smell?
Pick it up by
in
its
a fight, yeah.
Hoy it over the fence will be alright.
Yeah.
I don't think you could take a hawk, man. You ever seen one of those die for some?
It's a good point, actually. They are like natural born like killers that did knock the eye out before you knew where they were coming from.
Mind you, they take on horses in Newcastle, that's a hard beast.
That's true.
Yeah,
although apparently
not.
The thought processes of a magpie.
I don't think it won though.
I still have no idea what was going through that bloke's head, like.
Oh, God.
I know, it's massive. I'm going to punch it.
Better than that, I'll punch the one that the policeman's on top of.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
We should have got a Geordie on the show that asked that question, to be fair. Because
do that next time.
You would have said a horse.
It's got to be a sport.
So final answer is, what's the biggest animal in the zoo you could take?
I'm going to go with a penguin, like.
Penguin.
I don't know. Ferret.
But they're devious as well, man.
Again, that's that children thing.
I think I'd get my ass kicked by a deer, but I'd really give it a go. I think it's the most I could give an effort before I thought I'm really, really fucked. It'd probably be like an 80-20 to deer, but I think I've got more chance than a lion.
I'm gonna say wildcat, but depending whether there's no trees, there's like an open playing field.
Just open playing field, whatever you've got, so they're claws against your fists.
Because I don't think you'd be able to. Oh, maybe it would. I don't think I'd be able to jump up on my head. I'd be able to swipe it out the way before.
Yeah.
Quite agile cats.
They are quite agile, but you'd never see me left wing back.
I haven't played keeper before. That's about it.
And keeper, although that's so yeah, wildcat. Fuck it.
Cat.
Watch out.
We normally have some would you rathers, and we did get a couple in. And one was, would you rather record a duet with Lad Baby or Jedward?
Jedward every time.
I don't know who Lad Baby is.
He wins every Christmas UK #1.
Oh, is he the guy with the sausage roll?
Sausage roll guy.
I'm going to go with Jedward, like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's annoying as fuck, like.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Jedward actually as well.
I'd like to go Jedward, but you're guaranteed a UK #1 at Christmas,
No, I'd still do the
Only got a
Jedward
three.
thing. They're quite
Jedward.
proficient athletes, apparently. I watched a documentary.
Yeah, they like to fight penguins.
Yeah, penguin fighters. Oh, don't do
Who
it.
do you think you could beat, John or Edward? If you had to pick
Both
one.
of them, I just take both of them, like.
What? They'd
Beat
probably
Jedward.
mix it up, wouldn't they? They'd pretend one of them had really won or lost, and you'd be totally confused. Which one was I fighting then? We're not going to tell you.
You do fair, just pick one of them by the ear, do a mistrunchable.
Exactly.
Again, I use the same tactics for every fight. It's a 5-year-old of his Jedward.
You just swing around.
and just swing him
You
around.
have a lot more upper body strength than I realised.
Yeah, well,
I'm just swinging people around.
I think Jedward's quite small, so I reckon I did. Probably did.
You just got to get him by the hair before.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
That could be quite solid, that lacquer point. Like a sort of unicorn thing.
Yeah, I was going to
going
say,
on.
they could probably like
Charging
battle
at
with
you.
him,
I don't think I could take Jedward.
You know what? I think Jedward would be fun to record a song with.
I think there'd be. I mean, the song would be shit, but I mean.
Not if I wrote it.
No, I kind of stand Lad Baby, so.
He's done. Is it like 3 in a row about sausage rolls or something? 2 in a row?
So,
Yeah, and then the other one he got Ed Sheeran and Elton John to.
I think
Yes,
they jumped on the trend because they were going to win it, and then they jumped on the trend with him to guarantee they won it.
Yeah.
That was because they're Cunt and the Gang.
Yeah, I
like,
bought one. I bought the single
Cunts,
like.
yeah. like, I don't know if you...
Boris Johnson's still a fucking...
Oh, yeah, man. Like, because he's played the Borough a few times, some of the tons, played a gig with him in the Bridge Hotel in Newcastle. He's a very funny man. That was that last Christmas and the one before,
last Christmas there was I don't think they had so I can't remember what the song is. Boris Johnson is a fucking twat or something, wasn't it?
And the first year I think was Boris Johnson's a cunt. Is a cunt, and then last year,
Boris Johnson's
like
still
cunt.
So I bought that one but the first time he brought that up, I don't think there was the rivalry between him and Lad Baby. But this year, because Lad Baby was like, oh, you'd have to be a specific kind of person not to... Because you know what really fucking pisses me off about Lad Baby? I'm going on a rant now. But you know what really fucking pisses me off? Because you know he's only doing it just for like fame and to sell his merch and to get his YouTube videos and to get the money. But he says, oh, buy mine because it's for charity. It's like, is it fuck for charity? You give like a fucking small percentage to charity and you keep the rest of it.
Yeah.
You're a cunt, Lad Baby. I fucking hate you.
I agree.
I don't even know who you are, and I absolutely love you, fucking bastard.
Because it was the...
Can we clip this and put this on Twitter?
It's
going to go viral.
This is the 30 seconds you need on TikTok.
Here's the thing, right? Because obviously, Cunt and the Gang, so they brought... It was like an obviously politically motivated Boris Johnson still a fucking cunt or whatever the song was called. But like people bought that because they generally thought they wanted it to go number one just to send a message. But Lad Baby's response was like, oh well, if you buy that, then it means you don't really care about charity or you don't care about giving money to... It's like, you really definitely don't fucking care about giving money to charity.
Did he give... Was it something to do with food banks or something, wasn't it? It was like donating money, like a small percentage or something.
Yeah, it was only small. It was like, oh, this proceeds go to this, but it wasn't all proceeds. And then he was like... He was obviously doing this YouTube shit that he usually does. And then it's like, I'll buy my merch and like buy this sausage roll kind of shit. And like, honestly,
It's going to make a little Instagram story of your rant here.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it just really annoying. Apparently he's being done for cheating on his wife. I'm not trying to get libel here, but this is the rumour. I don't know how much of this is true or not. But apparently they're having a bit of trouble because he's being caught being a bit...
Lad Baby.
Fucking Lad Baby.
If my mate, if Ben's listening, my man, he knows all about Cunt and the Gang, and he'll fully agree with this sentiment.
A colleague of mine mentioned them.
They're hilarious. Like he did. This is going way back. You remember that band TL?
Oh yes.
He did a song with them about Prince Philip. Which is quite funny. Then he released what was he called? The one that was a nunce. Like,
Andrew. Oh, Andrew.
Prince
Andrew.
Prince Andrew. Sweaty nunce. He's a very funny man. Listen, the cunt. I think he's called the Cunts now, but Cunt and the Gang, definitely worth checking out.
Cause
Prince Andrew is a sweaty nonce.
Thing is, like, it's genius marketing. Because it doesn't matter what the song sounds like. It could be like the worst fucking song in the world, but that's fucking me, man. It's still recording, you know. You can
Sorry, turn it down. It's just uploading.
No, it doesn't matter what the songs sound like. It's just the title of the song. Just like it's people just buying.
We got a rant, you know.
Anyway,
we need to make that a new feature. It's called the James Berry rant.
My 2 cents.
I reckon I could chin a penguin though, so it's fine.
I'm going wildcat.
Well, we got a final Would You Rather. You ready?
Yeah, go on.
Would you rather ingest a litre of whale sperm or a litre of liquid rhino shite?
Oh, whatever's the least lumpy.
Can we
have a lumpometer on that one?
You can blend them if that makes it better.
Yeah.
So you can have perfect
smooth as each soup. It's like soup. It's gonna be like, you know, when you get the chicken and sweet corn soup from the Chinese.
Let's go for the white stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be more. Yeah, because it'd be just imagine it being like.
Plus, it might
in the ocean or something. I don't know.
It might. It might flukily taste of something really nice, whereas shit's just gonna taste of shit.
Yeah,
exactly. That's rhino shit. I might digest it differently. I've never tried rhino shit. Never tried shit, to be honest with you.
They're like plants though, don't they? So it could be a bit...
Is there not more nutrients in shite than spunk?
Probably, but I'm just not really concentrating on the nutrient.
No, but if you've got to weigh the pros and cons, you don't go, well, I like the colour of that one.
It's the bad nutrients though, isn't it? That's the... No, I think I'd probably go sperm, because just because it'll look more...
Don't start a band, kids. This is what happens.
You end up going on a fucking weird podcast talking about...
Do you record a music podcast? Yeah, which animal you punching? How are you a child? And he has a pint of whale spunk.
We've gone downhill, haven't we? We're only 15 episodes in.
You shouldn't have given me the reins for this, year.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, God. You know, when I first started this podcast, you know what the questions were supposed to be, kind of, if you had your ideal band, what would it be? Yeah. And now he's loaded down it.
It's great though.
It's probably better, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a bit more fun, isn't it?
But it was the first question we had was like, if you couldn't do your gig, who are you replacing your band with, like actual musicians out there? And like Scott's, I'll have like Jack White and all that, and now we're going.
You know what reminds me of?
How nutrient is a rhino?
You ever see the first ever Jerry Springer show?
Mm-hmm.
So there was they had the.
I was in it, goddammit!
No, they had the first, they had like a white supremacist, and they had like a black brotherhood kind of race, like he was racist to white people, and they ended up fighting on stage, and Jerry Springer was like, "We do not condone violence, and we do not condone fighting on our show," and the crowd laughed. And then you realise how much the ratings they had. And they were like, right, so okay.
Controversy gets views.
That's it, I think, yeah.
The whale sperm's going to bring in the views.
Yeah.
Speaking of controversy, I'm going for rhino shite.
Oh, nice, okay. Is there any particular reason?
Controversy. By the sounds of how eager you are, there won't be any whale sperm left. So I'm just...
I'm going to go with a blend.
Ooh. 50-50.
Like a chunky soup.
Like a half litre of one, half litre of the other. You don't have to do 2 litres.
A latte with floaters.
Exactly, like
the shamrock on the top.
Exactly.
That's why I don't drink coffees.
Could be like a shit Guinness.
Put me right off Guinness, I wouldn't.
Nothing put me off Guinness.
No,
that's why I like...
It's difficult to be put off drink.
I think part 2 came to a good climax.
Yeah, that was...
Oh,
hey! And on that note, we'll see you in the next part.
I like that one. Right, yeah, shall we...
we'll part 2. We'll see you in the sensible hour.
We'll be back shortly. You know what? I'm going to add that to the phone. That's cool as hell. That. Right, welcome back to side 3. I've got a sample on side 3. Yeah.
He does a radio show, but he makes me record his jingles and that. Gets me doing voices and stuff.
Well, when we were setting this up, that's what we had little voice notes. He's like, I've got an idea. It's going to be it's a great idea. And he's like, I just found one on Fiverr. He goes, all right.
Actually, I've still got that one. Actually, hang on a minute. Let's see if I can get the original. Where's it gone? Hang on. I've got the original idea for the theme tune.
Ashley's seen the Instagram story. She said she's seen the video that that baby did that you're on about.
Oh
That's corny, to be fair.
That's pretty good.
I just had that. That was just basically just recorded just on my phone, a little daft mixing up. That's the kind of idea I thought. I was like, it's cool little jam and stuff, but with
and now we've got
but yeah.
So yeah, part 3 is where we turn the music podcast into a music podcast. So what's the craziest gig you guys have ever done, or what's happened at a gig that's been so crazy? Or
as what about Eddie, or just in general?
Both.
Well, there's too many Don ones. I want to be involved.
Let's do what about Eddie then? Let's get these both involved.
What? The maddest gig we played is what about Eddie? It's probably the biker rally, like.
Yeah, the biker rally at Morpeth.
I like a good biker rally.
It was in a gazebo.
Yeah. Well, we were in a gazebo. They were in the field.
So instantly singled out.
Where was it? It was outside Morpeth, I think.
It was just about 5 miles. It was on the way to a place called Cambo, which is just outside.
Somewhere Northumberland.
I like hybrid working there.
It was kind of like, I don't know why as like a ska punk band, I don't know many bikers that are like ska or punk or anything. I don't know what bikers like, as not being a biker. I'm sure I imagine they're like ZZ Top.
Yeah, we played
definitely Nicki Minaj.
Definitely.
To be fair, we played a biker rally as like a covers band. We were playing like Bruno Mars and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it went down okay, I guess. Like, they were asking for like Motorhead and shit like that.
Yeah.
But we're like, no, here's just the way you are though.
Did they clap after?
At least there's some participation with your audience.
Yeah, we played and it was just like a wall of signs. So we're like, oh my god, like we're gonna get chinned or something here. And then so we played like 30 minutes at something, and they were just like over the moon with what we did. And we're like, well, did you not feel like...
I hate them gigs.
Because
it's fantastic when you get the relief of feeling really amazed. I was like, well, you fooled me for 45 minutes.
I was like packing away, and this guy, like a clock guy, he must have been about 102. He was about like 4 foot, had like long grey hair, looked like something out of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And he just clocked eyes with us and just started walking towards us. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna fucking
Here comes the stabbing.
So like, right, put my guitar away, pretend I'm talking to the drummer. Came over, started like violently shaking my hand, saying it was the best thing you'd ever seen. And that I was like, did you not feel like clapping?
It's proper like the
little bit of recognition goes a long way, you know.
But then the guys on after us were like a cover band, but they were doing like ZZ Top type, like that kind of classic rock.
Ideal scenario, really.
Exact same reaction. So it was like, oh right, well,
it's just some
crowd,
some crowds are like that.
Weird,
like working man clubs are the worst for that, because you'll play your heart out and they just sit there, the arms folded, and then when you
get the bingo,
they'll get the bingo, and then they'll be loving the bingo. Then the next 45 minutes, and then you'll finish, and then they'll be like, more, more, and they'll not let you off. I was like, well, where was this flipping energy? Like, well, I'm knackered now.
We once got pulled off in Merton. For the bingo, oh lads, no more bingo. And the second half, I'm just playing away, and there was this imp kind of attached himself to my microphone stand, and he stood for the whole 45 minutes going on the microphone. And it was just, that was a pretty weird gig.
Yeah. Which club in Merton was that?
It was the Democratic.
I'm sure I played there as well, and it was.
There's the Top Club and the Demi.
The Top Club. That's where I played.
Yes,
that's where I played. I had a guy with a toupee. There was like they had the forces off with the bingo. There was like 3 people left playing the bingo. Right. It was a full house before. Ironically, pun intended. Well, it was unintended, but it's intended. But there was a karaoke. That's the clap one, yeah. So I didn't want to clap myself. You know what I mean?
I don't know the buttons.
Just around the corner. I can't remember what there was a karaoke bar on, and everyone went down to the karaoke instead of watching the band, and they didn't come back. They just stayed at the karaoke. And it's just like this is a continuous thing that's happened each week. Everyone goes for the first half. Nobody likes the bingo, but they have, because this guy in a toupee wants to play the bingo. That they have to play the bingo, even though because there's only 3 people playing the bingo. It's like £5 entry, so it's like £15 the winner. They'll have to play the bingo and they lose all the customers. Well, you know, I don't play there anymore.
It's a strange world, isn't it?
Is that in general or just Merton?
No, generally Merton. No.
I lived in Merton for a bit, and that was a bit.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I was there. I mean, I was only there for like a month and a half, but it was.
To be honest, I mean, most of the lads there were quite good. It was when there was still mining there and that, you know.
Yeah.
And they were quite close knit and that. And a couple of lads from Merton were in my band, so I had like safe passage and that. So you get to know them, and they're really great people.
Oh yeah.
But Clubland up there.
Weird, yeah.
In fact, Clubland anywhere in the northeast,
true,
it's a dismal world.
Yeah, you play the top club in Solgrave in Washington.
I have actually. Yeah, that's the other one I played.
That was the same.
The guy, I don't know if it's the same guy, but he was very like showbiz. He claimed that
Oh, there's one of them in Seam as well.
He claimed Tom
Phoenix.
Jones. He claimed he booked Tom Jones before he got famous.
Right.
And the guy, he must have been in his 60s. I was like, you were not booking bands in the 1960s. I don't care who you were. You were about 10 years old in the 60s. He claimed, we booked Tom Jones before he got famous. I was like, what? 1963?
Zeppelin played in Peterlee. In like a tiny little pub in Peterlee. And the Yardbirds and that, before there was Zeppelin.
I've seen tickets and stuff on
insane.
the internet, people buying paying £2 or something to see.
It's insane. But the Top Club is now a church actually.
Was it really? I didn't even realise it.
It's closed.
It doesn't surprise us.
I think the final person might have died off and they just didn't know what else to play the bingo. So it was like
it's hard to imagine that culture. I mean, obviously I'm old enough to remember it when it was still quite vibrant. Parents, family, friends, they were all piling down the clubs of a weekend.
It's a dying thing.
Absolutely.
The Millview still gets absolutely rampacked. That's down full. I'm actually a member.
Right.
God, I don't know why. That's a great club, to be fair. It's my friends go.
I haven't done a workman's club in a while. I think East Stanley Workman's the last one I've done.
Stanley.
I think the last clubs are a bit souls crushing, aren't they?
Yeah.
We played Tom was in the cover band for a bit after we played, but going back to this must have been about 2010 or something, wasn't it? The Don and
the British Legion.
We played the British Legion.
British Legion.
Was it in
Jesmond.
That was the last time.
I've never played that. I've been past there before.
But that was the last time I played a workman's club.
But it was more like kids from the scene and that. Dory, that put the shows on, used to hire the room up, and
surprisingly, the Top Club in Sulgrave, my old band played there. We didn't play any covers apart from the Gaslight Anthem.
Yeah.
We played the 59 sound.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of going back to when that would have been 2009.
Yeah.
Ish, 2010, just after that album came out, and a little bit after, and that was the only cover we played. And there was some old bloke came up to us and was like, I love that Gaslight Anthem tune you played. We're like, oh, right. We're just it was random as out. It must have been in his 70s.
Thinking not someone you'd expect to have heard the Gaslight.
Exactly, but it was great. They seemed to love the reggae and that, so
it does seem to attract.
But I think that was the worst, not the worst, it was probably it was a great gig, is Eddie put the randomest gig. What was the question again? Sorry. The craziest gig I've ever played though was in a crack den in Manchester.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds a bit. Tell us more about those cracky tales.
Go on.
I played after the Don broke up. I used to play acoustic stuff.
What was your crazy name again?
I just played
you had a
Richie
name
from the Don.
You had a name though. Didn't
I dropped it.
Postal device.
That was it. Yes, it was. I couldn't remember what an envelope was because I was on that many substances. I was in the post office and I needed an envelope. And I was like, what the hell do I post this letter in? And I was like, like a postal device. What do I need, like a postal thing? And then the lass I was saying at the time was like, you mean an envelope? I was like, yeah. I'm gonna call the band postal device. But I
pulled him back from that, by the way.
An acoustic
and
tour.
He's hated me ever since because he's got to deal with reality now.
Postal device, that's good.
Yeah.
I used to tour. My girlfriend at the time was in uni in Plymouth, so I used to tour basically to get down to see her. And we played a squat in Manchester, and there's people shooting up and stuff as I was playing. And they were like, "Oh, you just crash here." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in the car." I got paid though. It was great. But it was that's probably the craziest gig I've ever played.
That kind of tops anything I've ever done, to be honest.
Well, I don't get a lot of crazy gigs.
No, I don't get them.
I don't know. It's the punk thing, though, isn't it? I think out of that ska and punk scene.
It could be. We played in a venue that was called The Cabbage in Nuneaton, and it belonged to an allotment association, and it did reek of cabbage. Funny enough. It was pretty vegetationally infused.
Lives up to its name.
Definitely.
The Cabbage. One of our band members, he couldn't stop laughing during the sound check. He was a trumpet player. He just kept breaking down and saying The Cabbage over and over again across the mic. That was a surreal moment.
Was that Leicester?
Leicester.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, God.
So, do you guys have any gigs coming up, or are you just waiting for that 5th member first, or?
Nothing really in the line at the moment.
No, we're still sort
We're
of...
just kind of getting back together and sorted. Like,
it's the best way to do it, to be fair. Like.
He's had any songs recorded? Anything?
we're kind of working on like a couple of new tunes. We've got like a kind of demo-ish, like kind of starting to record. It's weird though. It's kind of like, obviously we've gone from being like a full band. We've got like obviously stuff on Spotify and stuff like demos and that.
I've listened. I really liked the Notes.
Yes.
Is it Notes? Acoustic?
Notes, yeah.
And I'm gonna get the name wrong. The Sticky Monkey.
Oh,
Sick
Little
Little
Monkey.
Sick Little Monkey. God, Sticky Monkey. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty cool little. It's like
That's Adam, the guitarist now. He wrote that, and he was trying to basically fuse the Pixies with ska.
that's.
So
I
when you
was
kinda listen
going
to
to say because it was quite a bit heavier.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
got the dynamics thing about it. I think that's what he was trying to do.
I quite like the because it's a bit more. It's got that bit heavier sound, but you've still got that ska essence to it. I quite liked it. I like the sound of it. But I like the acoustic, like the notes as well.
Yeah, we did that when COVID kicked in.
And I bottled recording because I didn't want to get the Rona off.
I just bought a new laptop, my old one I'd had for about 12 years, and it eventually conked out. But obviously no one's going anywhere, so I was like, right, I'll get a new laptop and I just teach myself how to record.
Yeah.
And then when they kind of lifted like restrictions and stuff, I just kind of was like, well, I've got these couple of mics, so I'm just going to kind of see what I can do. So I got the drummer down, Kev, at the time, and just recorded them, and we'll kind of build it.
The decent recordings too.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't mean it sounds like I'm trying to like big myself up and stuff, but I honestly had no idea what I was doing. I kind of learned off YouTube videos and stuff.
That's all
what we'll do.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, and then
I've got a career.
It's honestly you get such a different, like, instead of like learning from the book, you find you do have you get your own style, you get your own habits and stuff like that.
Definitely,
and
practical is the best.
Just kind of like learning as I was going and trying to get obviously the best sound I could out of what I had and stuff. And I mean, not to sound like bigging myself up, but I think it sounds alright. Like
I thought it sounded
for an acoustic tune and that, and kind of laid.
It was your first go though as well. I mean, that's the good bit.
Laid a lot of stuff. It's like obviously you got a lot of tracks on it and stuff. But,
it's the great deception of recording, and you don't realise it until you actually start recording. Like you need kind of like, you think, oh well, you've got 4 channels because you've got a guitar player, you've got a drummer, but then what you don't realise, you're doubling down a lot of things to create a different type of sound. There's a completely different art to it.
No, definitely. I mean, we've obviously recorded like stuff throughout all our bands and stuff, but just being on the other side, recording, playing, and singing and stuff. And then it's like I was kind of like watching videos, and I was like, right, I'm just gonna like play the chords like higher up on the guitar and just like ring them out just to kind of make the sound fuller and stuff. And then I got into like a vocal recording, like black hole essentially on YouTube. And like I was like, there was one guy I was watching, he was like, you need to do like 3 takes, never mind double tracking it, triple track it, pan one left, pan one right, turn it down in the mix, and then have your main one. And I was like, right, well, I'll do that. And I'll add harmonies and like just kind of to build it up. And then I came to like mixing it, and I was like, right, I'll piss about with it, and that got what I thought sounded like a good sound. Sent it to everyone about 14 times, like different mixes and stuff, and then kind of picked one. And then my mate Alan was like, you need to master it, and I was like, I don't even know what that is.
That's the thing. That's the one thing YouTube can't teach you how to master properly, but for little like home recordings and stuff like that. The average Joe listening is going to be like, yeah, it sounds cool as hell. That.
Exactly. I did I think I watched a few videos because it's all done in GarageBand. And this guy was like, master and do this, and I was like, right, I need to find the simplest video I can. And some guy was like, just do this with the volume and add something to it, and I was like, I'll follow that. And like,
I mean, the most basic bit of mastering is, I mean, I'm no professional. I've only in fact, it was my mate John who we had on from Humour. Basically told this. Says he can be quite gatekeepy a lot of the time, but good. You can tell the difference between someone who knows how to master a song. But essentially, it's putting a limiter and making sure that the song is at a commercially viable level.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's the main premise and main
Exactly,
thing
yeah.
of. So once you've got that, the rest of it's all like EQing and
Mhm.
really complicated shit. But as long as you've got it's like almost like a limiter or compressor to bump all the sound up to a commercially viable. But then Spotify changes it anyway. And
Exactly,
sets the
yeah,
load,
yeah.
so
It
it's
reduces the quality and stuff, doesn't it?
yeah,
Like,
so it's just like nowadays it's hardly worth getting.
No, exactly. I mean, I think it basically was that
Yeah.
some kind of compression.
Yeah.
Turn it up a bit.
Yeah,
And I was
that's
like, yeah,
that's you
alright,
mastered it.
that-
There
that's
you go.
all good. Like,
There you
As
go.
you say on Twitter though, who knows anything about compression?
Yeah, nobody knows. Even the people who say they know something about compression doesn't know anything about
exactly.
compression.
Like,
So what song are you going to play for us?
shall I do a new one?
You could do, yeah.
I'll do a new one.
Yeah.
If that's alright.
Absolutely.
Song called
Crestfallen Angel.
Crestfallen Angel. Tom writes all the lyrics, so like,
Brilliant.
Ah, cool.
Usually he'll ching ching ching.
Yeah.
Have a listen to this, and I'll come up with a melody and some words.
It's like the opposite to Elton John and Bernie, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if people went to follow you on socials, what's your social medias? Is it the same thing for everything?
I think I'm not 100% if it's just What About Eddie. I don't know if it's the same thing on everything. I think one of them might be What About Eddie Band, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell you what you should get. A link tree.
A link tree.
I just told James about this the other day.
Yeah. So basically it's just
Tree,
one.
yeah.
So you send your link tree. You put
Right.
that as your main one, and then it's basically just got different captions. So it's like
Yeah, so we've
Twitter,
got on ours.
Facebook.
Ah.
Right.
We need to fix ours, to be honest, but
Yeah, so you click the little link on Linktree.
Yeah, yeah.
one
And if
link.
anybody went to follow you, hold on.
The links you do. Your
Oh, it's
Spotify.
just
So
everything,
this
yeah.
is James' local playlist, my playlist, or Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
You click it and it'll take you to.
Fabulous.
So it's worth getting Linktree.
So you get
free
one-
to use.
Yeah, you get one link tree, so people click that, and then because loads of people on different. Some people aren't on
Right.
Facebook. Some people
Yeah.
are only on Twitter. Some people only
Makes
like
sense.
to go on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have Apple. Some people have Spotify. So instead of just going, well, here's this, you've got
Click it
one
and select what
link,
works for you.
and then you just that's it.
Well, I don't. It's definitely What About Eddie on Spotify. I know that.
Cool.
Well,
And because Kev, if you're listening, Kev, you when you abandoned us, he took away our social media for it. I used to do the Instagram, and Spotify. He did everything else. So like,
I found you easy enough on Spotify, to be honest.
Yeah, I
I
think
just
it's
literally
just
I
search
just
What
typed
About
in
Eddie, like.
what about Eddie, and you came up
Yeah.
because you got a verified tick.
cracking.
Meant
And I assume, you know, the only reason I knew it was used is because they had the saxophone.
Yeah,
Because you asked for the saxophone.
yeah.
But
No, it's all good. Just What About Eddie. Just
Mint.
search that. I think if you
So-
put that in the Google, show
Yeah.
me age here, Mike. Like social media.
yeah,
Just search What About
MySpace.com.
www dots and all that. Yeah, well, if you go on our Instagram page, we follow people who have been on the show anyway. So you're on our followed, so you just go that
Yeah,
way.
definitely.
Going through the link tree, that reminded me, this will come out on the 27th of September. So we're about a few days away from setting up a poll on who has the best playlist.
Yes.
So beginning of September, me and James made a little local unsigned playlist, about 15 songs in each, and we're going to get our listeners to kind of judge who had the best playlist. It kind of gets that local scene out a bit more.
Yeah.
So let us know who's you're enjoying the most. I think you're winning so far on one vote out of one. So get your votes in. We'll set a poll at the end of the month. You can find us on Off the Stage UK on everything. Twitter, we're Off the Stage 2. If you want us to get any specific guests, drop us a message. We'll ask anybody to come in. We still need to ask Jack and Sam to come in as well from HMV. Is there anything else I need to plug?
That's it. Just follow us and watch and listen if you're not already.
If you've got any suggestions for playlists, because at the minute we've got the local and sign one this month, and then we'll do another competition next month and we'll see which one, but I don't know what October's going to be.
Yeah.
We could do Halloween. Build up for the best Halloween
Special.
playlist.
Halloween special.
Yeah, ignore what I've just said. We're going to do a Halloween special playlist. And again, vote for that. And yeah, we should probably do some kind of like forfeit or something.
Yeah,
We'll figure that out.
do it on
as
Halloween.
comes across.
We'll have in fact, we should release it on Halloween. Just for maybe just that. Ignore me.
We'll do an official Halloween thing on the day. Nothing else to plug, is there?
No.
You got any gigs coming up?
No, it's HMV in December.
I'm there the 24th, so I would have already played it by the time this podcast comes out.
Alright, well.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it. other than that, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming, guys.
Thank
we'll
you
get you
for
set
having
up
us.
on the stage, sing yourself a tune.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week with a great episode. Cheers.
Excellent.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sound like? Yeah, correct. Right, I'll give this a go. This is a new tune. I set myself on fire just to watch something burn. A final act of the jaded, or insecurities turn. Something that they never said. I'm sleepless next to you, crestfallen angel. You never noticed the truth. Caught slapped on the table. I'm putting this down to you. All patterns look the same. Hard work is not enough. So noble to survive, I couldn't give a fuck. Something that they never said. I'm sleepless next to you, crestfallen angel. You never noticed the truth. Caught slapped on the table. I'm putting this down to you. Crestfallen angel, you never noticed the truth. Caught slapped on the table. I'm putting this down to you. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
No worries. Thank you.